Many digital artists today are self-taught. They learn their craft through online tutorials and practice. They share their amazing work on platforms like X. This is a wonderful thing. It allows art to reach many people. But there is a hidden problem. Many of these talented artists do not know much about copyright law. They might not have gone to art school. They did not have a teacher to explain the rules. So they post their art online without knowing their rights. They also may not know how to respect the rights of other artists. This lack of knowledge can lead to serious issues. Understanding copyright is very important for any artist sharing their work online. Copyright is like a shield. It protects an artist's creation. It stops others from using their art without permission. When you post on X, your art can be seen by millions. It can be shared, saved, and reposted in seconds. Without knowing about copyright, an artist might see their work stolen. Someone could print it on a t-shirt and sell it. Someone else could claim the art as their own. Knowing your rights helps you stop this from happening. It gives you the power to control your own creations. This knowledge is not just about protection, it is also about respect for the community. The art world on X is a big connected space. Artists often get inspiration from each other. They might use other people's work to create something new. This is called a derivative work. But there are rules for this. You need to know what is fair use. You need to understand when you must ask for permission. If artists do not know these rules, they can accidentally steal from others. This can cause arguments and hurt feelings. It can damage an artist's reputation. Learning copyright helps everyone be a good citizen in the online art world. So, we have a problem. Artists need to learn about copyright, but legal documents are often long and boring. They are filled with difficult words. Reading them feels like a chore, not something exciting. This makes it hard for a busy artist to learn. They want to spend their time creating, not reading complex texts. This is where a new idea can help. We can make learning about copyright fun. We can turn it into something artists want to do. We can use the power of games to teach these important rules in a way that feels natural and engaging for a creative mind. Educational games are powerful learning tools. They are not like traditional classes. They do not just give you information to remember. Instead, they create a space where you can learn by doing. This is called active learning. In a game, you are a player. You have a goal. You make choices and see what happens. You can try things, fail, and try again without any real-world risk. This process is very effective. It helps you understand ideas on a deeper level. You are not just memorizing facts. You are experiencing how those facts work in a simulated world. This makes learning feel less like work and more like play. Games are especially good for teaching complex subjects like law. Copyright law has many parts. There are ideas like public domain, fair use, and different types of licenses. A textbook might explain these with long paragraphs. A game can turn them into challenges or quests. Imagine a game where you run a virtual art gallery on X. You have to decide which artworks you can display. You have to manage your own art and deal with requests from other users. Each decision you make teaches you something about the rules. The game gives you instant feedback. If you make a mistake, you see the consequence right away and learn from it. One of the best things about games is that they create a safe space to fail. Learning something new is hard. People are often afraid of making mistakes. In the real world, a copyright mistake could lead to legal trouble. In a game, a mistake is just a part of the learning process. It might mean you lose some points or have to restart a level. This freedom to experiment allows players to explore the edges of the rules. They can see what is allowed and what is not. This kind of hands-on experience builds confidence. An artist who has practiced in a game will feel more prepared to handle real situations online. Furthermore, games can be designed to be very engaging. They use stories, characters, and rewards to keep the player interested. This is important for self-taught artists who are learning on their own time. It is much easier to choose to play a fun game for 30 minutes than it is to force yourself to read a dry legal website. The game becomes a welcome break that is also productive. By making the learning experience enjoyable, we can encourage more artists to learn these vital skills. They will be better protected and more responsible members of the online art community because they had fun while learning. Let's think about how a game could teach specific copyright ideas. Take fair use, for example. This is a tricky concept. It allows people to use copyrighted work without permission for things like commentary, criticism, or parody. A game could present the player with different scenarios. A character in the game wants to use another artist's image in a blog post that reviews their art. The player has to decide if this is fair use. They would be asked questions. Is the new work transformative? Does it harm the original artist's market? Based on their answers, the game would show them the likely outcome. This is much more interactive than reading a definition. Another important concept is licensing. Artists can choose how they want others to use their work. They can use Creative Commons licenses, for instance. A game could simulate this process. The player would upload their own virtual artwork within the game. Then, they would be guided through a series of choices to select a license. The game could show them what each choice means. For example, if they choose a no derivatives license, the game could show a scenario where another character is blocked from using their art in a collage. This direct feedback makes the abstract idea of licensing very clear and practical. What about infringement? A game could teach artists how to spot and respond to copyright theft. Imagine a level where the player has to scan a simulated X feed. They must find examples where their own game artwork has been stolen. Maybe someone is selling it on a t-shirt or has removed their signature. Once they find an infringement, the game can teach them the next steps. It could walk them through a simulated process of filing a DMCA takedown notice. This gives them a safe, guided practice of a very important procedure. They learn how to defend their work without the stress of a real conflict. The game could also teach about the public domain. These are works whose copyright has expired, so anyone can use them freely. A game could have a treasure hunt mode. Players would explore a virtual museum or library to find public domain images. They could then use these images to create new art within the game. This would be a fun way to learn the rules. It also encourages creativity. By turning these legal concepts into game mechanics, players learn the rules as part of the gameplay. They are not just studying law, they are actively using it in a fun and memorable context. When artists learn copyright rules through games, the knowledge is more likely to stick. Games help us remember things better. We remember experiences more than we remember lists of facts. An artist who played a game about licensing is more likely to remember to choose a license for their own art. They will have a mental model of how it works. This helps them make better, more informed decisions every time they post on X. They will think more carefully about their rights. They will also be more mindful of the rights of others when they interact with art online. This creates a stronger foundation for their career. The benefits go beyond individual artists. When more artists on a platform like X understand copyright, the entire community becomes healthier. There will be fewer arguments about stolen art. There will be less confusion about what is and is not allowed. Artists can collaborate with more confidence. They will know how to set up agreements properly. This leads to a more positive and professional environment for everyone. A community where rights are understood and respected is a community where creativity can truly flourish. It reduces the drama and allows artists to focus on what they do best, creating art. This approach also empowers artists to protect themselves. Many self-taught artists may not have money for lawyers. Learning through a game can give them the basic tools they need to handle common problems. They learn what to look for and what steps to take. This knowledge is a form of power. It helps level the playing field. It means that an independent artist is not helpless if a large company tries to use their work without permission. They have the confidence and the understanding to stand up for their rights. This self-sufficiency is incredibly valuable for artists building their careers online. In conclusion, using educational games to teach copyright law is a brilliant solution for the digital age. It takes a complex and often intimidating subject and makes it accessible, engaging, and memorable. For the many self-taught artists on platforms like X, this is a game changer. It equips them with the knowledge to protect their work, respect others, and navigate the online world with confidence. By investing in these kinds of learning tools, we support not only individual artists, but also foster a more orderly, respectful, and creative online community for all of us to enjoy.